So in this lecture, we are going to see that how to create basic plots using the Seaborn library, and the basic plots include scatter plot, histogram, bar plot, box and whiskers plot, and pairwise plots. So let's see uh, each one by one. But before seeing these plots, let us first understand that what is Seaborn library. So Seaborn library is a Python data visualization library which was built on top of Matplotlib library that provides a high level interface for drawing interactive or informative attractive statistical graphs. So using Seaborn library, we are going to first see that how to create this scatter plot. So for that, I have just include all the libraries, pandas, numpy, matplotlib, and the new one, that is Seaborn. So we need to first install or import these libraries. After importing these libraries, we will going to work with Seaborn and can draw multiple graphs from these. So here you can see I have imported libraries into Spider or Jupyter Notebook, and after that just import the data that will be used for visualization. So we are going to import the toyota.csv file, and I have used pd.readcsv for that. So after that I am getting, can see that 1436 observations and 10 columns are there. So we are now familiar with this data set, that is Toyota, and they are just the details of cars. So basically our main objective is to understand the data pictorially or visually. So we need to consider only the rows whenever the records are filled, because we would not be able to interpret anything from the question mark or from filled, because we would not be like cannot understand the nan values, nan. So now let's see that how to remove missing values. We have already seen this thing, that how to remove the missing values from the data. So for that I have used this. You can see here, after removing the values, the data set having 1096 and 10 values is there. So only 1096 observations with 10 columns are there. Now next we are having how to create the scatter plot. So here we are going to use plot of price versus age, and that will be built using the default arguments. So if you see the first line, I have given as sns.set. That means that we are giving a theme to the background of plot, and theme was being dark grid. That means that you will have a dark shade as a background of your plot, and you will as well as have a grid also. So you can basically set themes to your background, and dark grid is a preset Seaborn theme. You can as well as set themes that are available from the Seaborn packages. So now you can see that reg plot stands for regression plot, and inside the function you have to specify the variable for x-axis and y-axis, because it is going to be the scatter plot of price versus age. We need to give age under the x-axis and price under the y-axis. So we can check how price varies with respect to the age of cars. Here you can see that I have accessed the age variable from the data frame cars underscore data. Similarly, I have accessed the price variable from the cars underscore data. So here you can see this would be output that you will be getting by setting the style as dark and giving x as age and y as price. So this is through the default arguments. Now if you see this, here you can see that we are going to do a scatter plot of price versus age without the regression fit line. That is very easy. You can retain the same command as we are using in the previous slide, but you just need to add another parameter called fit track, and you can just set them to false. So you can you can see here that as mentioned earlier, by default it is true. That is where you got a regression line over those scattered points, but if you set they are as false, you would not be getting the regression line. Here you are getting the regression line over the graph, but here you are not getting this. So we have not specified any labels to x-axis and y-axis. It is already being shown here. That is how, because it takes the label from variable name that we have already given here. You can see the values 0, 10, 20, 30 are the values from the variable age, and from plotting context these are called x-tick labels, and 5,000, 10,000 values are y-tick labels, that is on the y-axis, that are also called grids, and the points, the scatter points, are called markers. So we have a solid round points. Now next you can see here scatter plot of price versus age by customizing the appearance of markers. So just I have changed the appearance of markers by giving this point, that marker equal to star. So you can see the here you can see the marker appearance of markers as stars. Next we are having here, you can see that create a scatter plot of price versus age by fuel type. So by fuel type, in the sense we are going to add one more variable into the scatter plot, that is the variable fuel type. So why we are going to add that? Because it is of interest to check the relationship between price and, or you can say price with age by adding another variable fuel type, like how price varies when the age increases with respect to different fuel types of the car. So that can be added by using the parameter called HUE, and including another variable to show the fuel type categories with different colors. So here you can see that add fuel type under the argument called hue, and we are going to represent the fuel type with respect to different colors. So you can see that by using the LM plot, that is from the Seaborn library, and this function which combines regression plot and phase, it is very useful whenever you want to plot a scatter plot by doing conditional subsets of data, or by including another variable into the picture. So in that case LM plot will be very useful. Now you can see what is the output that we are getting. See, you can see price versus age by fuel type. It is the same scatter plot, but where here you can see we have just differentiated the data points using the categories that are available under fuel type, but we have just differentiated the data points based on the fuel type categories. So red represent the diesel, blue represent the petrol, and the green represents the CNG. So if you see here, there are more data points, or there are more cars that are of petrol fuel type, and price is really higher for the cars which has diesel fuel type, and the price is comparatively lower for the cars which have CNG fuel type. You can also check the relationship between price and age, as we know that whenever the car's age is high, the price is very low, and whenever car's age is low, the price will be high. Similarly, you may also custom the appearance of the markers using transparency, shape and size. And how we differentiated the points using colors here, different levels of transparency to the points to represent the categories. You can also do the same thing by giving different shapes and by giving different sizes for that points.